Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today for Teens Make Crocheted Bookmarks. My name is Sophia and I am the Teen Services Assistant at Landrum Library, and today we are making a crocheted bookmark with tassels. In your pick-me-up kit, you will have a bag, yarn, and crochet hook. You will also need scissors to complete this craft. Let's get started. The first thing that you'll want to do is unwrap your yarn and unravel a length of yarn to make it easier to feed yarn through your fingers. Once you have unraveled a good length of yarn, you're going to want to wrap the yarn through your fingers in a way that is comfortable to where you can hold the yarn taut between your middle finger, thumb, and around your forefinger. Feel free to practice this a bit as it takes a little time to figure out what's most comfortable for you. Once you're ready, take your crochet hook like so and wrap it underneath the yarn like this. Then you're going to want to use the crochet hook to pull up the length of yarn through a loop. Now that we've done a practice, let's get started with chain stitch. So go ahead and wrap the yarn and twist the yarn around just like so with your crochet hook. Then you're going to use the crochet hook to pull the yarn through the loop you've made repeatedly over and over. Pay attention to the crochet hook in each stitch where you start out the stitch with the crochet hook facing upwards, and as you pull the yarn through the loop, you twist the crochet hook to face downwards. The technique takes a little getting used to, so don't get discouraged, but keep practicing. Once you have reached to about 20 stitches, depending on the length that you want your bookmark to be, you are ready to start your next row. We're now ready to start row 2. This one's the hardest, but don't worry, we'll get through it. The first thing that you want to do is do an extra chain where you're turning around. Then feed the crochet hook through the top 2 loops of your last stitch. With those 2 loops, you're going to pull the yarn through one more time until you have 1 loop back at the top. Let's watch that again. Feed the crochet hook through the top 2 loops of the next stitch. Pull the yarn through, and then pull the yarn through the 2 loops you've just made. And there you are. This is single stitch. You will continue these stitches until the end of the row. The hardest part about the second row is that you don't have a lot to hold on to, but keep at it and just know it gets easier as you move from row to row. We are now ready to start row 3. To start row 3, go ahead and put your crochet hook through the last loop that you made. Remember that when you start a new row, you always chain 1 at this place that you're turning around. Next, put your crochet hook through the back loop of the last stitch in row 2. Then, pull the yarn through that back loop and continue single stitch as usual. You will crochet row 4 in all consecutive rows the same as row 3. Don't forget to chain 1 before turning around. You have now finished crocheting your bookmark. All that's left is tying off the ends. Use your crochet hook to pull the loop to make it longer. Then remove the crochet hook and even out the two ends together like so, and use a pair of scissors to cut the ends. Next, you will take the two ends together and tie a simple knot like so. There are other ways to tie off loose ends, but this is the most basic way when you're first starting out. Once you've tied your knot, you can use the scissors to trim the ends to make them shorter. You're probably wondering, now what do we do with these remaining ends? There are a lot of ways to hide crochet ends, but the most basic way I was taught when I was first learning was to use the loops of the last row to pull the strands of yarn through, kind of like weaving them in. You will want to do this with the crochet ends on both sides of your bookmark. Don't forget to trim off any excess. Once you've hidden your tails, you are ready for the next step, tassels. To start your tassels, cut a strand of yarn the length of your bookmark. You can use that strand as a measuring tool to cut 11 more to make 12 strands total. Once you have divided your strands into 3 groups of 4, you are ready to start tassel 1. Put your crochet hook through a loop at the end of your crocheted bookmark. Pull the strands through that loop to create another loop to start your tassel. Then use your thumb and forefinger to pull the remaining strands through the loop that you've created and pull taut. You will make tassel 2 and tassel 3 the exact same way as tassel 1. The next step is trimming your tassels to your desired length. You have now made your very own crocheted bookmark. Great job and happy reading! We have virtual teen programs happening every week in the month of November. Be sure to follow us at SCPL Teens on Instagram or Facebook to stay in the loop about programs, contests, and more. Thanks for watching.